In spite of everything he had gone through, there was one issue that Akira hadn't taken to mind. What exactly was he supposed to tell everyone back at school about his body? For some, they could have attributed it to puberty, but puberty couldn't strike that fast. And then there was Miki's family and everyone else that he was staying with. But thankfully, Urahara had a plan for that. He gave him a spray bottle. To the average eye, it looked like no ordinary spray bottle, no different than perfume or cologne. But when Akira sprayed it on himself, he would learn the effects soon enough. As he walked through the door to his home, Miki and the others, while they didn't notice him, it wasn't anything too glaring. Sure, there was the occasional, "You're eating a lot more than usual, Akira. You're a growing boy, Akira. You shoot up like a weed." But nothing that commented on his freakishly change in size and body. That was the ability of the spray. Whenever you sprayed it on yourself, it allowed for people to see and perceive you as they always had. It would allow for the change of oneself to become gradual. For Urahara, it was just one of the many trinkets that he had come up with in his shop, a way of helping people to blend in into the ordinary world, to allow people to more easily accept someone's sudden change in transformation. For Akira, it proved useful in school, and in fact, it actually made him quite popular, because now the girls were seeing him in a whole new light, and the boys were definitely becoming envious. Even the school's track and field coach had to be a bit weary, but all in all, he felt like Akira was his pretty normal self. Of course, what really changed was how Akira was able to perform. Sure, even though the spray allowed for his physical appearance to be the same as always, it was the personality change that was really the stark contrast, mainly because Akira was a lot more confident, a lot faster, a lot stronger, no longer timid and weak or the crybaby that he used to be known for. No, overnight it seemed like Akira had adopted an entirely new personality, and there were some who were taking notice. Even for Akira, he was enjoying this newfound fame and fortune that had come his way. It wasn't anything major, just on a high school level, but still, it was nice to walk around and not feel like the biggest loser. Of course, he knew that later on that night, they were going to have to get to serious work. They were going to begin their hunt for the demons, to wipe them out by any means necessary. They were all going to be splitting up into groups of two. Ishin was going to be traveling with Masaki, Jericho was going to be traveling with Rosvisa, and for Akira, he and Ryo were going to be a duo. They would move out and move in a fanning formation, searching every nook and cranny of Tokyo, and then they would take their searches elsewhere. It wasn't just that Akira was a way of sniffing out demons, but because he was a demon hybrid himself, it meant that they would be coming to him soon enough. As Urahara put it, Akira was like a magnet. That's why it was best to keep him traveling as much as possible, and for him not to stay in one area for any extended period of time. Thankfully enough, Akira could come up with any excuse that he needed to leave. After all, he had Ryo as a friend, so traveling wouldn't be too difficult, and he had clubs at school and other duties and things that he had to fulfill, so no one would think twice if Akira wasn't home all the time. It meant that Akira could be on the move, just in case that the enemy wouldn't target anyone he cared about. But more importantly, it meant he could be productive. He wasn't going to be waiting around like the prey. He was going to become the predator, the ultimate predator, to any and all demon. As the night would fall upon them, Akira and Ryo would find themselves driving through the streets of Tokyo, which were more empty than usual, save for the occasional car that passed them by. Ryo could see the look on Akira's face. He wasn't his jovial self, or at least not the way he had been during the day. Now, he looked entirely different. stoic even. It's not like you to do all the brooding, Rio would say. I thought that was my job. We have to be serious about this. We don't know what type of demons we're going to come across. By the way, if what Mr. Urahara said was true, that demons are sometimes the creation of cursed spirits and hollows eating each other and melding together into some new creature and beast, how the hell did you come across one in South America in your excavations? That's just the thing. Not all demons are formed here on Earth. Some are formed in hell, and it's rare that they're able to escape, but when they do, Earth is usually where they want to make their pit stops. But why Earth? I mean, there are so many other realms, right? Soul Society, Waco Mundo, the Beast Realm, even the realm of the gods. So why would they always want to come to Earth? You just answered your own question, Akira. What do the other realms have in common that are different from Earth? Huh? Think about it. A realm of Shinigami, powerful warriors that have lived for hundreds of years, mastering ancient techniques and gathering spiritual pressure and energies. People that have the capability of wiping out entire worlds. Hollows are no different. Even for the beast-like creatures of the beast realm, they're far more extraordinary. But Earth is an entirely different case. You could say that Earth is like a breeding ground for demons. It creates the perfect situation for them to form. Unlike the other worlds that could actually put up a fight and even quell the danger, Earth is always on a razor's edge. It's always the thin line between destruction and salvation. You could say that Earth is the weak link in all of the other realms. Because of humans, Akira would say. Unfortunately, humans are a lot of things, both good and bad. But the best way to describe a human is like a blank piece of paper. Okay, Akira would say. Think about it. A blank piece of paper. You could do anything with it. You could use crayons, color pencils, markers, paint. Anything you can think of, you could take that piece of paper and you could use any sort of material. That's what humans are. Demons are like black paint. Humans are pure white paper. An endless supply that you can paint into any color that you want. You make it sound like humans are nothing more but cattle. Because they are. It's not just with the demons. Even for other realms, humans are always being recruited. When humans die, what do you think happened? Just because their souls are gone, it doesn't mean that there's no use for them. They get collected, swallowed up by the other realms, from Waco Mundo to the realm of the gods, especially with what followed in the Great War. Angels, fallen angels, and devils, they've been recruiting humans like crazy to rebuild their ranks because they can't rebuild them naturally anymore. And of course, there are the Shinigami who reap souls and send them to the Soul Society. And before long, there are a select few in the Soul Society who eventually find their way into hell. It's like a never-ending cycle. It's exactly what it is, Rio would say. And that's why the demons want to take advantage of Earth. Some can make their way through hell, but it's a select few. But once they get here, their influence spreads to a degree like never before. It won't take long. If one can pop up in South America, you have to imagine that they're all over the world. From North America, Asia, Europe, Africa, everywhere in between. As they begin to fester, their numbers slowly grow. And if they are able to overtake the Earth, then it's the apocalypse, Akira would say. But that doesn't seem to be the only thing that's troubling you. Is it, Akira? Rio would ask. Well, it's not the only thing. What else? It's about Miki. What? The girl you have a crush on? You finally decided to make a move? Or what? If the new body and being tall, slim, and handsome not good enough? Shut up! It's about this creep that's always pestering her. This guy, Nagasaki. What about him? Well, he's always trying to get her to do these photo shoots and stuff, and... oh, let me guess. Some old perv trying to get pics of a beautiful young girl. And what's worse, it happens to be your sweet Miki. I know, I didn't mean to touch a sore spot. But we haven't come across any demons so far. Where is she at? She's supposed to be over at his place for a photo shoot. But I've seen some of the photos that he takes. They don't seem, well, I don't know. They don't leave anything to the imagination. And there's a rumor going around that he actually takes a lot more from a girl. A lot more than just photos. You're worried that he's going to make a move on her. Or that he might do something against her will. I mean, she's strong and all, but Without any hesitation, the car would quickly turn around. Rio decided that they could at least check in and make sure that she was alright. It wasn't like anything was happening around here. They had been driving for almost 4 hours and got nothing. Of course, it was going on close to midnight at this point, and Miki had already left at around 6. She should have been back home. But by the time they had passed by her house, as Akira had gone to check, Miki wasn't in her room. Now his panicking had gone from a low to an all-time high, and they quickly made their way searching for the residency of Mr. Nagasaki. Thankfully enough, even in their day and age, Rio was a rather informed individual. It wasn't much to try to find someone's whereabouts, even in the yellow pages. Finding Mr. Nagasaki and tracking his residency, it would soon lead them to his home, at least what was thought to be his home. As they arrived, they saw that his mother lived there, but there was no sign of Mr. Nagasaki. But Akira could smell something else. What is it, Akira? It's demon. What? Akira would quickly burst through the door, as he made his way to where he could smell it. It was coming from a room upstairs. The startling screams of the elderly woman would have to be hushed, as Rio would have to play the role of peacemaker. As Akira made his way to the upper room where Mr. Nagasaki kept his things, he would break open the door and he could smell it plentiful. There's no mistaking it. There's definitely been demon in this area. Rio would quickly join them soon after as they went into the room. There was an old computer along with a whole bunch of VHS tapes, as well as stacks of magazines and shelves of, let's just say, photos that were rather provocative. I knew it. He is a scumbag. What are you doing in my home? Nagasaki isn't here at the moment. Don't worry, ma'am. It's best that you forget about everything that happened tonight. Here. Rio would hand the woman a large wad of cash. This should cover for any of the damages. Akira, do you have a scent? Yeah, there's no mistaking it. It's wet and disgusting. Can you track it? Yeah, I think I can. With that, the two would quickly say their goodbyes. Well, at least Rio would. Akira was already in the car, and Rio and him were soon racing through the streets of the night, tracking down the smell of this demon. It was growing more and more powerful the closer they got. Akira was fixated on getting to Miki as soon as possible. He would leave the calling of the others to Rio, and Rio promised that he'd get them in touch soon enough. Eventually, they would arrive to a much more lavish home. It seemed like a place that was home to someone who worked in finance or some sort of lawyer's home. You could say it was almost akin to a mansion. Without any hesitation, Akira would burst through the door. There were puddles on the ground. The home was dimly lit. It was a large and spacious place. Rio followed close behind with gun in hand. We need to stay vigilant, Akira. There's no telling what we're going to run into, and... Found him. Akira would quickly race down the hall, moving almost as if he were running on all fours. Eventually, he would burst through the door of a large and spacious bathroom, only to see that Miki was waiting. She was in a bathrobe, and it seemed like that was all she had. Rio would follow behind, and he saw Mr. Nagasaki. He was on the ground, unconscious. Stay right where you are. You make one slight movement. If you give me a reason to suspect you, I'm going to empty the clip out in your forehead. I don't... Where the hell am I? What? This isn't your house? No, I don't... Akira, I figured you'd find me eventually. Miki? Wait, how do you know I'm... You act like I can't recognize you, silly. I've been around you my whole life. Besides, I knew that you'd sniff me out soon enough. You'd come to find me. I'm really precious to you, aren't I? This girl, she makes you weak. I can feel it. Who are you? You don't recognize me? I'm your sweet, sweet Miki.
Oh, I know. You would prefer if I looked like this, right? Aim on.
Get the hell out of her body right now, Akira would say. It's me you want, right? So leave her out of it.
This isn't like you, Amon. It's not like you at all. The Amon I knew was a ruthless killer. He was truly the harbinger of death. But now you've become weak in that human form. But no worries. I will fulfill my duty, just as my master wished. I will rid you of your weakness, of the human flesh that binds you, and I will set you free.
Don't bargain with me, demon. You have two choices. You can either let Miki go, and I'll grant you a quick and painless death. And if you refuse, I am going to make you regret it. You will regret every moment of your short and miserable, pathetic existence. Don't try me.
Don't go making promises you can't keep. Be wise, boy. The body that you possess, you're only borrowing power, stolen power. But if you really think you got the balls to make it happen, then by all means, give it your best shot.
You're gonna wish you hadn't said that. This concludes Devilman Crybaby, Summer of 1999. What if Akira was the son of Hellstorm, Part 3. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow as we continue with Devilman Crybaby, Summer of 1999. What if Akira was the son of Hellstorm, Part 4. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.